Hello, I'm Carl Ross of the University of Portsmouth in the United Kingdom. Today is February the 18th, 2012. I'm going to give you a lecture on using the commercial computer package Ansys for analysing a vibration problem of a submarine type hull. So first I'll pick on preferences, I'll pick on structural, because that is what we're dealing with, a structure, and we OK that. And then we pick on the preprocessor, we pick on element type, we add, edit, delete this, and we press add, and we put a shell 93, which is there. Now shell 93 and 99, I'm using Ansys 11. You can't use a shell 93 or 99. With Ansys 13, you've got to use a shell 281. I'll tell you the slight differences there later on. I'm picking on real constants. Put in the thickness of the shell, so we press add, edit, delete again, we press add, we press OK, and we put in the thickness. It's 5 centimeters, which is 5 times 10 to the minus 2 meters. We must use newtons, meters, kilograms generally for vibration problems. To put 5 e minus 2 for that. If I put it on one node, it assumes that the shell is that thickness throughout. So I put that in. I pick on material properties, I pick on material models, and then I pick on structural. I'll double click structural, I double click linear, I double click elastic, I double click isotropic, and the Young's modulus is 2 times 10 to the 11, so I put in 2e11, and that's newton per meter squared, or pascals. I put in the Poisson's ratio, which is 0.3, and we'll OK that. And then I've got to put the density in, which I put in kilograms per cubic meter. I put in at 7860 kilograms per cubic meter, which is the density of steel. And then I press material, and I close this window, that's fine. And now I've got to, now notice this is the x-axis here, and that's the y-axis there. So I'm going to pick on modeling. I'm going to create my model, so I pick on modeling, I pick create, I pick on volumes, I pick on cylinder, I pick on solid cylinder, I put in the coordinates, the origin, x is 0, y is 0, the diameter of this cylinder is 10 meters, so I put in 5 meters for the radius, and the length of it, this is 4 meters, so I put in, it's just referred to as depth in this window. I press that there, I'll move this up a bit here, and I press OK. And I've got my cylinder there. I don't like that view too much at this stage, so I pick on plot controls, and I pick on pan, zoom, rotate, and I pick on ISO to give me a ISO view of it. Now I've got to mesh it, so I look for meshing, which is down here. Meshing is down here. There it is there, so I pick on meshing. I pick on mesh tool, and this is the mesh tool menu. Now I'm going to set the size of this. I'm going to put a fairly large element, and I'm going to use an element which has a minimum dimension, minimum length of 1 meter. I press that in. Now you notice this is volume, and I'm going to change this from volumes to areas because we're dealing with a shell surface, which is an area. It's a quadrilateral, and I'll lift that up a bit there. I'll pick on mesh down here. I pick on mesh, and then I've got to be careful here. I go to the side of this vessel here, and I click there, and I go to the side there, and I click there, and I lift this up a bit, and I put OK, and there you are, I've got my mesh. And that view is fine, but I'm going to change the view again, because I've got to restrain it. So I look for plot controls there, I look for pan, zoom, rotate, and I'm going to put, press right, like that, and I'm going to fix it completely down this right edge here, and simply put it on the left edge. So I pick on solutions, and I pick on define loads, and I pick on apply, and I pick on structural, and I pick on displacement, and I'm going to put it on and I'm going to put it on node. There's different ways of doing it. I like doing it this way. I put a box in there, I take that for box. I come down here, and I put a box around there. You must be careful that you don't go too far over to the left, or you will restrain mid-side nodes as well. So I go like that, I press apply, and I put all degrees of freedom because it's completely fixed on the right. So I press apply and I do that. I then pick on box again, and I'm going to just simply support it at this end. So I go down like this. Again, I must not go too far to the right or might restrain some mid-side nodes. I do that and I OK it, and this time I'm going to get rid of the old degree of freedom and put UX and UY, and I put OK, and I've restrained that there. So that's fine. So now I've got to define the sort of analysis type that is. So I can just about see it there. Put analysis type there. I'll put new analysis, and I'm going to change it to modal. It's a vibration, so it's modal. I press that. That's fine. I put analysis options, and the number of nodes to extract. You could extract quite a few nodes. I'm just going to do 6. I'm going to be fairly moderate. And 6 nodes to expand. I press OK. This menu comes up. I press OK, and that's fine. I now have to solve it. So I look for solve. There is solve. So I press solve. Count LS. I press that. I press OK. And it's done it. It's done very quickly. It's done thousands of, well, not thousands, but certainly hundreds of matrices of order of hundreds. It's done that there. So now to the post-processing. So I go to the general post-processor, and I pick on read results, and I pick on the first set, and I pick on plot results, and I'm going to put a deform shape. That's right. And I'm going to put deform shape on the OK. And that's the shape there. It's not brilliant. At least that view is not terribly brilliant. So I press plot controls. No, I won't do it. Yeah, plot controls. I then put animate, and I put the mode shape, and we've got 0.5 here for time delay. I make that to 0.075. It gives us a better chance to see it. I press that there, and there it is vibrating there. So I stop that there. You can't see it too well there, so I'll stop that there, and I'll get rid of this. And what I'll do now is to rotate it a bit. So I put pan zoom rotate, and I'm going to put front. So we see it from the front like that, and we can now plot the controls again and animate it again, and there we have the mode shape there, and we press that, and we've got 0.075 for the time delay, and there's the frequency, which is 56 Hertz. 56 Hertz, and you can see that there, and that's fine. So I stop that there, and we can get rid of that. We go here and we'll read the results. So we'll plot results, read the results. Now that's the first frequency. The second frequency will be exactly the same as that, but 90 degrees to it. So it's no good taking the next one. I've got to take the one after the next one. So I put next twice, and then I go back to the work plane. I beg your pardon, plot controls. I put animate, mode shape, like that. I go OK, and then the second frequency, then the other frequency along there, and I close that, I stop that, and I close this, and then I pick on another set there. So I do next again twice, and then I pick on plot controls, and I let's get rid of that. We pick on plot controls, and we pick on animate, and there we get another mode shape. We say OK, and that's 60 Hertz. You can see it there, vibrating there very nicely. Very nice, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.